Hey guys, it is your girl Jade Ashley, and I want to welcome you back to a new video of When the Beat Drops. And like always, you know, I'm here to give you my 5 hottest beats and music of this week, so you know you have to stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so let's dive into this week's beats. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, at first I was like, let me take the first week off in January and then, you know, I'm gonna pop back up. But it was too much that happened this week. Like, honestly, I really did not plan a video until like last minute. So it was too much that happened this week for me not to, you know, come and talk about it. So here we are, our very first video of When the Beat Drops of 2016. And my first beat of this week, I have to talk about the VH1 original movie, The Breaks, which came on this past Monday following Love and Hip Hop New York. And I was so excited for it, of course. First and foremost, I'm sure you guys know that I was excited for it because one of the main characters was my celebrity crush, my bae, my boo, my future husband in my mind, Tristan Wilds, aka Mac Wilds. I'm used to calling him Tristan, like I said, because like I've been in love with him ever since he was on The Wire. So my love for him runs deep, and it runs, you know, far back. So to me, he's like Tristan, but everybody's like Mac Wilds, so Tristan, Mac Wilds, whatever. So of course I was going to watch it because he was a part of it. But also, this is a movie that has been advertised everywhere for like a minute now. So it was like, finally the movie is here. So I was excited to see it. So I just want to kind of like go through, you know, what I thought about the movie and stuff like that and all that other good stuff. So the first thing that I do want to mention is that the movie brought in a total of, I think it was like 2.6 million viewers. It had showed from 9 o'clock to 11, and then like it repeated again at 11, and it ended like at 1 or something like that. So with those two showings Monday night, it was like 2.6 million viewers. So congratulations to the cast and crew for that, because it actually was a really great movie. And I was very interested in the concept because it goes back to 1990 New York City. Me, I'm from Brooklyn, I'm a New Yorker. I was born in 94, so you know it took place, you know, 4 years before I was, you know, born. But like I've mentioned plenty of times, we all know that the 90s is, you know, coined as the golden era of hip-hop and R&B. But obviously this movie focused just on like the hip-hop, and just it being about the music and it being about, you know, hip-hop and stuff like that, New York City. Like I was already drawn in. Like it was no way that I was not gonna watch this film. So yeah, so I think I'm just gonna talk about the characters. And the very first person I want to talk about is Nikki, who was played by Afton Williamson. I hope I'm saying her name right. Nikki. I love that girl's character. When I tell you, from the very first 10-15 minutes, I fell in love with that character just because she was just so ambitious. Like, okay, we have like 2 different like career paths, but they kind of like go in like the same circle realm, I guess you can say. She was interested in being like a, you know, A&R and stuff like that. She was very, you know, very much in love with hip-hop, and she just wanted to keep the richness and the pureness of hip-hop. So she was about finding the next, you know, big artist, and, you know, helping, you know, the whole thing with them with this movie, they was trying to, you know, prevent, you know, hip-hop from going like mainstream and all of that other stuff. So she was very much, you know, wanting to do that. So literally from the beginning, she stormed up in that office and was like, look, you promised me this internship and this and that, and I would do that. And when they didn't give it to her, she did not give up. If I don't know what was inspiring, that definitely was. Like, I was on Twitter like, yo, I'm really about to pull a Nikki, and I'm really about to be running up in these offices until I get the opportunity that I feel like I deserve to prove myself. So like, just that alone, like I was sold. I was like, all right, I gotta watch the rest of this movie, because like she just did the most. And by her doing the most and her just being ambitious and, you know, going for what she wanted and not stopping at anything, like that was so inspiring to me. So I definitely I loved her character. The next person I want to talk about, of course, is my boo, Tristan, but his character in the movie was named DV, and he was obviously an aspiring producer, and he was a DJ as well. And like Nikki, he was trying to help preserve like the the essence of hip-hop and not, you know, make sure it doesn't go, you know, mainstream and stuff like that. And his way on, you know, saving hip-hop, if you want to call it that, was he was looking to produce like the next big, you know, rapper and stuff like that. He made his own beats, and you know, his beats were good enough, but he didn't have a good enough rapper. So just his ambitions, he started out in his dad's garage and stuff like that, had his equipment, and he was just, you know, very much, you know, he was very much, what's the word that I'm looking for? It's at the tip of my tongue. He was very much persistent in going until he got the rapper that he felt, you know, would do what he needed them to do to bring his beats to life and stuff like that. So I love my man's character. Like, it was just, I was like, I don't want to say he was a punk in the movie, but, you know, but in certain situations you would want to be a punk and whatnot. But, you know, I loved it anytime I get to see him. So the next person I'm going to talk about is David, which was the white guy, played by David Call. He was like an aspiring like disc jockey, and I guess it kind of like, you know, fits into where I want to be within the music industry, where you know, he was at a radio station, and the radio station that he was at, they was kind of like, you know what, we're not playing no more hip-hop, just strictly like R&B, and he was not for it. He was like, no, we need to get hip-hop on like this, you know, back on this station and stuff like that. We need to, you know, help it not become, you know, mainstream. We need to play like real hip-hop, real rap, real lyricism, and all of that other stuff. So I guess that's like one thing, obviously, that all three of them shared, was they were very passionate about hip-hop. They loved it so much, and they were thinking of ways to save this genre of music that they love so much. And, you know, of course, in the end, they all got what they wanted. Other people that were in the movie besides those three main characters, Method Man, he played Tristan's dad, and you know, a lot of the talk that was going around was that it was pretty cool because they both are from Staten Island, and you know, Tristan, he said he's known Method Man and the rest of like the Wu-Tang Clan grown up, because you know, they used to, you know, like, come to his dad barbershop in Staten Island and all the other stuff. Another person or other people that were a part of the cast was Wood Harris. Wood Harris played Barry Foray, Barry Foray, which was the owner of the representation company that Nikki was interning at and eventually ended up working for. One thing that I was saying about his character was like when she first approached him in a club and like threw the drink and all of this other stuff in his face, like he was doing drugs in the open. Like, I was like, was it really like that in 1990, like where you could go to the club and like people could really just sit there and do drugs in the open and nobody would say nothing about it? I was like, for real? Like, that could not go down in 2015, because your ass gonna be on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Vine, everything, and everybody's gonna be talking about it 2 minutes after you done did the drugs. But you know, obviously different era and stuff like that. Another person that was a part of it, and I guess this was like his big, you know, acting debut role, was his name is what's his name? The guy, the bald guy. Oh, his name is Antoine Harris. I don't remember his rap name in the movie, but he was basically the gangster per se, and you know, he was the one that kind of like DV, Tristan's character. He kind of like brought his beats to life, and they kind of like worked together, and they had like this big single towards the end and all of that. And I had went to his Twitter page, and I was seeing like, well, what other work did he do, like trying to kind of like look him up to see what other things that he did, because you know, that was really my first time really seeing his face. Turns out that he was actually on an episode of Power from last season. So, but he was kind of like more like the background. He didn't have like a role where he had a name and he had lines like in this movie. So I really enjoyed it. But what got me tight at the end of the movie was they in a club, you know, Nikki, she got this, you know, secure position with the Foray company thing. David, he got his job back at the radio station, and he, you know, kind of secured, let me play, you know, whatever song I want to play at least once or twice a week on air. And then, you know, DV, you know, he finally found the rapper to bring his, you know, beats to life and all of this other stuff. And he even had his song played in the club and all of this other stuff. But the way it ended was Nikki, she like I said, she was very persistent from the beginning. She was like, we met at such and such last summer, you promised me an internship and stuff like that. I turned down this to Harvard and all this other stuff. And it kind of ended with what was Wood Harris' character name? I'm sorry, y'all. Barry Foray. He was like, we never met last summer at whatever seminar she said that they met at. And then she kind of like didn't answer him, and then the movie like ended. Like it ended, it was one of those endings where you knew something had to follow. So I was like, that's it? For this to be a movie, that's it? So I'm like, nah, a sequel has to happen or something like that. And what I didn't do prior to watching the movie is I didn't watch Tristan's interview that he had did over at Hot 97. He had one to Ebro in the morning, and he was talking about it. So like one of the first things he said in the interview was, yeah, you know, depending on the numbers and stuff of this movie, it can possibly be turned into like a television series. So I wish I would have like known about that, you know, prior to watching the movie. But whatever the case may be, as long as I know. So 2.6 million viewers, I'm hoping that was enough for VH1 to kind of like pick this up and turn it from a movie to like a show and stuff like that. I'd enjoyed it. You know, VH1 is going to play it all year long, so hopefully we get to hear news soon that this was turned in or will be turned into a show and stuff like that, because it was really great. It's like right up my alley, like going back to one of the best eras in music, the 1990s, because you can't just start in 1990 and end there. Like we gotta you know, keep it going and stuff. So for it to be placed in one of my favorite eras, for it to talk about one of my favorite genres of music, and just it being music oriented in general, and then on top of that, Tristan Wilds is a part of it. Like, of course I want to see my man on television every week. You know, it's been a while. The last time I saw him on television consistently every week was when he was on 90210, and that was mad long ago. That's when I was still in high school. So, but I loved it. I give VH1's original movie, The Bricks, 2 thumbs up. It was amazing. If you guys missed it, you definitely missed out. But I will say to check your local listings to see when the movie will be repeating again, because it's VH1, so it's gonna come back on. So yeah. But other than that, we're going to move on to my next beat of this week. And my next beat of this week, I'm gonna keep this real short, but I had to talk about it because it was definitely, you know, news and one of the most talked about things this week. And oh, I just kicked my leg. And that is Future and Ciara. They are back for more baby mama, baby daddy drama. And, you know, it's just like, why? It's just like, why? And this all started when Future took to his Twitter. Future and that good old Twitter. Future ain't never going, he ain't never going to hide or sugarcoat or censor anything. If he feels some type of way, he gonna say it, and he gonna say it on social media, because that's the mature thing to do. Like, you tight, I'm about to tweet my problems and tweet my shit and start talking. So that's what he did. So basically, this all started when Future, he took to his Twitter and he said, I gotta go through lawyers to see baby Future, the fuckery for $15K a month. He said, I just want baby Future, that's all. He said, I've been silent for a year and a half, I ran out of patience. And he said, it was another tweet where he said something, where he called Ciara a bitch or something like that, and he said that she was like controlling and all of this other stuff. So like before, when, you know, Future and Ciara had baby mama, baby daddy drama in the summertime, you know, everybody had to chime in, and I'm going to have my same stance that I had before. I'm no one's baby mother. I ain't got no baby father, so therefore I really don't have too much of an opinion on it. But I will say it was a little bit immature for him to, you know, kind of go to social media and do that. I mean, the regular baby mother, baby father probably would go to social media and express their frustrations and stuff like that, as far as like whatever issues they're going through with their kids and the kids' fathers and mothers and stuff. But when you're somebody like Future and Ciara, don't do that. Don't do that. And, you know, it's just sad. Like, baby Future is so cute, and I don't know. I hope Ciara's not keeping him from his son, but at the same time, this was like Future. I felt like it could have been handled a different way, or you know, we really didn't have to know that, or maybe he wanted us to know. I don't know. Like when it comes to them and they baby mother, baby father drama, I never know. Like I just can't relate and stuff. So I feel like there was obviously some wrongdoing in this situation, but at the same time, I'm like, I hope Ciara's not, you know, doing what he said she's doing, because reps from her can't kind of, but they did deny his accusations and stuff like that, and he's talking about how he's ready to go to court for custody and yada 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 yada. And I'm like, Future, you're not about to get full custody of baby Future when you sitting here talking about Dirty Sprite. But anyway, so I'll say what I said before. Good luck to them. Hopefully they can come one day, can come to understanding. You know, I see so many blended families who work well together, so hopefully they can reach that point. At one point in time, they was with the whole blended family situation when Ciara was pregnant with baby Future, and then when she has baby Future and they're breaking up, now it's baby mother, baby father drama. But like I said, good luck to them. Hopefully they work it out, and yeah. So we're gonna move on to our third beat of this week, and our third beat of this week, I gotta talk about Auntie Janet. So I got a scare this week. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared and sad at the same time. I'm just giving y'all boobs, like I'm sorry, but yeah, I was scared for Auntie Janet this week. So if you guys didn't know, late last year, like I think around like I want to say October, like late October maybe or something like that, Janet, she kind of started canceling some of the shows for her Unbreakable World Tour. And then towards the end of the year in December, like she made this formal announcement, and the formal announcement included saying that what she said. Okay, this was the original announcement that she had made. She said, I need you to know I learned today from my doctors I must have surgery soon. It breaks my heart to tell you that I am forced to postpone the Unbreakable World Tour until the spring. Please pray for me and my family, our entire company during this difficult time. There will be no further comment. So from there, it was like, boom, okay, you know, some shows are canceled. I was hearing that she was saying to some people that with the canceled shows and stuff like that, keep your tickets because those shows will be postponed and they'll be good and all of this other stuff, yada yada yada. So we took it, okay, Janet, she has to have some type of surgery, some type of medical issue. She said she's gonna be back, whatever. But then this week there were reports that surfaced and said that there was a tumor that was found on her vocal cords, and that the tumor was being tested to see if it was cancerous, and had it been cancerous, it would have been very threatening to her career, to where that she would no longer be able to sing, and she won't be able to, you know, continue her tour and all this other stuff. And you know, when you hear things like that, you would want to get a reliable source and stuff. And when I first got the story and was asked to look into it, I had looked at the original source. The first source that I had seen was Yahoo Music or whatever. And then I was looking, you know, at other sources, like seeing who else was talking about this, because I didn't want to have to be the only person talking about it and only have one source, obviously. So I was seeing stuff like Radar Online. I had seen something, I think, like on Miss Info, like literally like legit, you know, definitely music sources and stuff like that. I was seeing the same thing. Like everybody was saying the same thing. Everybody had the same quotes and stuff like this. So I felt some type of way. I was like, oh my gosh, I really hope that she does not have throat cancer. I hope that she's okay. Hopefully whatever they find is not cancerous and she'll be alright, and you know, she can continue her tour. But then Janet, she popped up, and you know, once the news started circulating and stuff like that, she was like, look, y'all doing a little bit too much. So she released a statement, and she said, remember, believe when you hear it from my lips. The rumors are untrue. I do not have cancer. I'm recovering. My doctors have approved my concerts as scheduled in Europe, and as promised, the postponed shows will be rescheduled. Thank you for your prayers. And then she kind of followed with that statement by doing the lyric video for The Great Forever, which was the song that I told y'all when I did a album review for Unbreakable. I told you that's a song that's what she sounds like Michael and whatnot. So I I mean, it's crazy how rumors could go, and then you could like believe it, not believe it in like a bad way, but believe it in like, oh my gosh, I'm praying for this person, I hope that she's okay. So from her statement, obviously she said, you know, I'm recovering, my doctors have approved my shows for Europe, and the shows that were canceled will be, you know, postponed and stuff. So obviously whatever surgery that she was supposed to have has happened already. She's okay, thankfully. Thank God she does not have cancer, because, you know, obviously that would have turned into a very sad situation. And this is Janet Jackson. Like, come on, like, we've already lost one Jackson, we don't need to lose another. So I'm just glad that Janet is okay. I'm glad that there's no, you know, cancerous cells or any cancer in her throat or anywhere, whatever the case may be. And the Unbreakable World Tour will be postponed, and she was supposed to be here in New York, in Brooklyn, around my birthday. My birthday is February, and I think like the week of my birthday or something like that, she was supposed to be here at the Barclays Center. But obviously because those shows was postponed, I never checked into the tickets. But now that the tour has been approved from her doctors, I might have to go check it out. So yes, but Janet, I'm glad that you're okay. So yeah, moving on to my fourth beat of this week, I have to talk about Tyga. So apparently Tyga found himself in trouble with another underage girl. The last underage girl we know that he, you know, messed with and is now in a relationship with is Kylie Jenner. At the time she was like 17, and then now she's 18. So now they're all up in our faces with their relationship and whatnot. But this time it's this girl, she 14, and I'm like, I know Tyga's really not that dumb to really be coming for a 14-year-old. Like, for real? So, but let me read y'all the facts. So the little girl, because that's what she is, a little girl, her name is Molly O'Malia, and she pulled out all the stops. Homegirl had a whole ass press conference going on just to talk about how Tyga slid in her DMs. So this is what little girl had to say. She said, she said, I knew who he was, but I was surprised that he was contacting me. I thought that it could possibly be about my music, but he did not mention that in his initial communication with me. I thought that was strange, but I was thinking he would bring up in the next message to me. However, he didn't mention it in the next message. I began to feel uncomfortable when he asked me to FaceTime with him. He asked me to FaceTime him 3 times, but I did not do it because of my discomfort with why he wanted to communicate with me. I quickly stopped responding to him. So first things first, I'm gonna enter pictures. In the pictures y'all looking at right now is Molly O'Malia, the 14-year-old who looks older than me, and I'm 21. I'm about to turn 22 next month. So when I was 14, I didn't look like that. I did not look like that. And had I looked like that, my father would have bust my ass. Like, I remember in high school when I wanted to start wearing makeup, and I would try to, you know, just do a little eyeliner, little blush. I remember my father made me go in the house, and he was like, wash your face. He was like, you're not going to school with no makeup on your face. And I'm 14 in high school. I was 14, I was a freshman. So he was not with the shit. So I'm like, first of all, this girl don't even look 14. And then when Tyga responded to the whole situation, he basically said that he asked to FaceTime her when he was in the studio and when he was with other producers because he wanted to hear her sing on FaceTime. And he said that she was 17. I'm gonna believe him on that because, you know, he messed with 17-year-olds. But I'm gonna believe that, you know, the girl told him that she was 17 and not 14. I'm gonna do that because, you know, I don't know Molly O'Malia, but, you know, looking at how she presents herself, it's a possibility she just might be a fast-ass little girl. So I'm gonna take his word on her lying about her age and stuff like that, and her saying that she was 17 when she really 14. So look, man, Tyga messed with one little girl, and the rest of the little girls out here in the world trying to trip him up. I don't know. And then she held a whole press conference, like a whole ass press conference, like for real. You just couldn't post messages online yourself and call it a day. Like you really had to do a whole press conference, and you had news outlets, TMZ, everybody was there. Like she was pushing it, she was pushing, and she was doing the most, and it was obvious. To me, it was obvious. So look, Tyga, see, you mess with one little girl and you see what happened. Now all little girls coming for you. You need to watch yourself, okay? I'm just saying, okay? But we will move on to my last beat of this week, and I am going to talk about growing up hip hop. And I just want to let y'all know that I was on to this, and I let y'all know about this months ago, and I had to make sure. So if you go back to When the Beat Drops number 36, that was all the way back in July. That was the very first time that I mentioned growing up hip hop, and here we are in 2016 of January. So hopefully y'all tuned into that video and y'all knew like I knew. But like I said, the show has finally aired. It aired last night on WeTv, and I was just watching Angela Simmons and Romeo's interview at the Breakfast Club. That aired today. So, you know, I like the show. I knew I was going to like the show. So I kind of just want to talk about what happened on the show. So this is basically, I guess you can say, like the main points of the first episode. So the first episode, it was basically focused more on Angela, and it focused on other people too, but I feel like Angela was definitely the focal point. And what I learned in their interview from the Breakfast Club, both Angela and Romeo, was that Angela came up with the idea, she came to Romeo with the idea, and they kind of pitched it and stuff like that. So like growing up hip hop is Angela Simmons' idea, so she better be the focal point in every episode if you ask me. And I love me some Angela. I told y'all, it's like she's so inspirational. I told you about, like, I love her hair, makeup, love the way she dresses. I wish I was skinny just like her, but I can't be great, you know. They don't want me to be great, so I can't be great. So I just gotta be fat forever. But anyway, that's besides the point. So the first episode, we kind of seen Angela doing like a lot of behind the scene work, where she was working on launching her faux fur line, Foofy, and she was setting up to do like her launch party and stuff like that. So Romeo, who lives out in LA, he came to New York with his girlfriend at the time to support Angela and stuff like that. So one of the first things we saw, you know, Romeo, I don't think he's dating a girl anymore, but at the time of recording the show, he was dating a girl, the white girl. Everybody hated him, or everybody hated on their relationship because he's black, she's white. Boom, whatever. Yeah, cool. So other cast members aside from Romeo and Angela, we have Boogie Dash, who's named Dash's son. We have Egypt, who is the daughter of Tretch and Peppa from Salt-N-Peppa. We have Christinia DeBarge, who is a part of the El DeBarge clan, who's like legendary. And then is that everybody? Oh, and we have TJ, who is the son of the late Jam Master Jay. Those are all the cast members and stuff like that. So I talked about Angela, I talked about, you know, Romeo and stuff like that. So Dame Dash's son Boogie, he was having like a gallery opening or something like that. So they all went to the gallery opening. So I think one of the main points that happened in this episode happened during that scene. And Angela, you know, she was just kind of talking about like all of the stress that she was kind of under with, you know, her launching her faux fur line and all this other stuff. So Dame Dash, we know him, we know how he could get and stuff like that. So he jumped in, and I want to read word for word what he said. I made sure to go back and type down everything that he said. So this is basically what he said to her at the opening when she mentioned stress. He had said to her, in the streets, that's not considered stress. In the streets, stress is a gun to you. Stress is hungry. Stress is somebody telling you if you don't grow up, you're gonna die. Because so many people know who you are, there's no struggle for you. So she kind of mentioned that, you know, just because, you know, she's a Simmons and, you know, stuff like that, things are not handed to her the way people may seem, you know, or the way people may think and stuff like that. Like, she has to work for everything that she has and everything that she's doing. So then he responded to her by saying, that's not a problem. It's called being an adult. If you want to tell me about stress, to listen to that, I'm not going to listen to it. He said, that's little problems. That's baby problems. So he was like, that's white people problems, and he was just talking his shit, because we know. I mean, when he talks, like, he has valid points, but I think his delivery is bad sometimes, and I feel like he talks too much to the point. He talked about being a chatty patty. He was being a chatty patty. So I feel like, you know, he has a point in some of the things that he wants to say, but I feel like that he overtalks his point and his delivery is just way off. And even in the interview with Angela and Romeo, and I'll link it below so you guys can check it out yourself, when they kind of touched on the topic, you know, you could see Angela getting worked up about it, because she was like, you know what, he doesn't even know me, and, you know, I don't have to prove myself to anybody, or I don't have to explain myself to anyone, so I just let him talk. I just let him talk. I just sat there and I smiled and I shook my head. And she was like, you know, because I was always taught to respect my elders and all this other stuff, so I'm not going to disrespect my elders. So, like, Dame Dash, he really did go above and beyond, and he really tried to play my sis. Like, I was like, chill out. Like, and then she said her dad knew about it, and obviously he would know about it by now, but she said that her dad knew about it, because I would have been like, I'm telling my father, I don't even care. Like, I'm about to go snitch. I'm about to tell my father. Like, that would have been like my reaction, but, you know, obviously, like, she's a grown woman and all this other stuff, but I do kind of feel like that he was out of pocket with that situation. But anyway, you know, everybody has their own different type of stress. You know that quote where it was like, everyone has their own struggle that we all don't know, so be sure how you know, be careful how you treat people and stuff like that. So everyone has their own struggle, no matter what level, no matter what. We all have different struggles that we face and whatnot. So yeah, but anyway, so moving on, I think another person that kind of, you know, had like a very big, you know, focal point within this episode was Christina DeBarge. Is it Christina or Christina? Whatever. DeBarge, from the DeBarge family. So basically, I saw her before. Like, when I looked at her, I was like, son, I saw her before. So her face was familiar, but I can't remember like what song she had back in the day. But she kind of talked about her music, you know, her music thing from, you know, a couple of years ago and whatnot, and how she had like this, you know, bubblegum, you know, innocent girl image and all this other stuff, and, you know, now she can be truly who she wants to be and stuff. So aside from that, we got to see basically what she's going through with her dad. So I'm only 21, but if you do know your music history and stuff, you know, we know about the Barges and stuff like that, and we kind of know that, you know, few of them, they battled, you know, drug addictions. And on the show, we did get to see her Uncle El DeBarge, and I even heard about his drug addiction. I heard not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, he actually relapsed, but now he's clean. But her dad was in jail for drug possession and stuff like that, so she was very adamant about wanting to go see her dad and stuff. Like, she understands, and she understood from a very young age her family's, you know, battle with drug addiction and all of this other stuff, and, you know, she made sure to stay away from it. But, you know, it's just you get to see something from somebody on the inside. Like I said, everyone knows about it, or if you know, do your music history and you kind of learn things and stuff like that, you'll hear about it. But to see, like, you know, the children, you know, of the DeBarges, like, being affected by it and stuff like that, she's kind of going through a lot with that situation. So I think on next week's episode, she finds out from her Uncle El DeBarge that her dad actually is no longer in jail, but he had relapsed. So I know that I'm not from the LA area, but I've watched television shows, I've seen movies and stuff like that, and I think that in the Los Angeles area is an area called Skid Row, and that's the area kind of where, you know, a lot of like the drug addicts and like the homeless people kind of go and stuff like that. So what the preview looked like, it looked like she was driving out to Skid Row to find her dad or something like that. So I don't know what's gonna happen. Other than that, what else happened? Oh, TJ, J Master Jason, he was celebrating, I think it was like his 25th birthday party. So, you know, everybody came out to show him love. Peppa was there, and she was with her daughter, and it was in a club. and her daughter forgot her ID. So Peppa was like, oh, well, bye, Felicia. And she was like, you can go in the car, you be okay. So like, she couldn't get to the club with her mother. Her mother left her to go to the club and party and stuff like that. So I thought that was pretty funny. Other than that, Angela, she had a stalker. A stalker had sent a dirty teddy bear to her apartment, and she had laughed it off at first because, you know, she kind of thought it was something from one of her friends, and it was like playing games and jokes and stuff or whatever. And the teddy bear came with a note. And the person was like, oh, I'm here in New York, you know, if you want to hang out, I have time to go on a date, and all this other stuff. And then she kind of saw her stalker in the club at TJ's party, so she ran out. And so it's like this big thing, and her dad was kind of telling her that on the show, that you need to have like security with you. So I mean, it's a lot going on. One thing that a lot of people are waiting to see with this season is the whole chemistry between Angela and Romeo, because there's been rumors that they've dated before, but then they just talked about being like close friends. But then people were saying, if you guys are like so cool and you have like chemistry and all of this other stuff, and you guys kind of understand each other coming from hip-hop families and stuff like that, why not date? So it's a lot going on, and I'm really enjoying the show so far, so I definitely recommend it. It comes on WeTv every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Yeah, at 10 p.m. So definitely check it out, because the show is popping. I like it. It's something different. So yeah, other than that, those are my 5 hot beats of this week. Okay guys, so I want to thank you for tuning into the very first video of When the Beat Drops of 2016. And of course, you know I have to remind you guys to comment, like, subscribe, and share. It will greatly be appreciated. And of course, I have one note to leave you guys with this week. It was announced that Beyonce will be joining Coldplay for their halftime performance at this year's Super Bowl. We got, you know, she killed it like I think it was like 3-4 years ago when she did the halftime show. So she will be back on the stage, but this time she will be joining Coldplay because they are the headliners. But other than that, I have to also leave you with my song of the week. And my song of the week for 2016, or the very first song of the week for 2016, is gonna have to go to Fantasia. She just released a new song called No Time For It, and I feel like the song is perfect because we are literally within like the first few days of the year. So you know, you just gotta let it be known right out the gate, I ain't got time for the drama. And that's basically what she is saying in this song. This is her very first single since she has gotten married, and I'm definitely here for it. So I want it to be my song of the week, obviously. And if you want to check out the song in its entirety, you can head over to my blog at www.jade-ashley94.blogspot.com. Once again, I thank you for tuning in, and I will see you next time. So bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to share and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.